Hi friends, my name is Amanda Mae and this is my channel, Ardith Design. Welcome to my Flosstube channel where we celebrate all things counted cross stitch, sustainable stitching, and well, little pugs. Today is Monday and it is September 2nd, 2019. I am filming early because in Maryland we're supposed to be getting rain and what looks like the start of the large hurricane down south that will probably leave little remnants up here in the mid-Atlantic states. So I wanted to get this filmed early. Also, I am filming on Monday instead of Tuesday because tomorrow, which is yesterday for you, oh, the future, I am going back to Timonium to the Maryland State Fairgrounds to pick up my fair entries. Yay! I entered 4 pieces in the state fair for counted cross stitch, and I am pleased to announce that I got 2 ribbons, a first place blue ribbon for original design for Booby's apiary, and a 3rd place for a Christmas decoration that is not a Christmas ornament. Yay! I also entered my Barbara Anna Mermaids of the Sea piece and a Christmas ornament, my So Dang Cute ornament that I actually did some cute finishing with, utilizing some backing fabric from Diana of It Is Kismet Stitches and some buttons from Erica House. Here is my fair prep. I was going to start this one and then I did the back interfacing, did everything, was about to finish it, and then I see I'm missing 1 stitch here. I thought maybe I could add some confetti or something, but no, I'm not going to do that. So I'm using the fabric here. I'm going to make an ornament pillow. I cut this out here, turned it, sewed it. I'm going to stuff it, but then I need something to cover the back here. So I pulled out my prize package stuff with my Christmas things. I'm going to see if there's a piece of wool felting that I can use here to cover this up, and then I'm going to stuff this and have this ready for the fair. And I tried to iron this, I ironed it with steam and it got all wrinkled. This is a button that was gifted, and then this was gifted. This was from Diana It Is Kismet Stitches. She sent me this and some buttons and trim. I love this fabric, so I am putting on So Dang Cute. I put that fabric on. This button from Erica D House that she sent me. I think I'm going to add this somewhere in the finishing. I'm really excited. I'm going to see, like I said, I'm going to open this up. I see like a red and a green. Maybe I'll see if I can get something to sew this on. Oh, let me show you. I did do the finishing on the back of this, my Booby's apiary. The judging panel says that it has to have the wire back frame, so it looks like it's like really close to call here, but I'm following the directions as it states. I used, hi pugs, all the things, all the Flosstube things. I'm excited to go on an adventure to pick that up tomorrow, which is yesterday. Anyway, you know how the time stuff works. I am so happy that you are here and joining me today. I am just thrilled, and oh my gosh, I'm approaching Flosstube number 60, but the cool thing is that I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. Holy guacamole. Thank you all. Oh my gosh. So with that, I feel like we need to do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Yay! I couldn't decide what pattern to give away, so we're going to give away 3 of my patterns, plus some Victorian Motto sampler thread floss. This is the custom color palette that I developed with Nancy Turner for the Pretty Orange and the Banana Pants Yellow. Her shades of violet is the purple, and that is her limited edition. I did not help her with that one, but the 2 colors there. And so you're going to get Banana Pants Purdy. You're going to get Taffy, Saltwater Taffy Terry, and you're going to get Booby's apiary, which apparently I forgot my boobies today. Y'all, I'll show you at the end. But you're gonna get 3 patterns, some floss, and I'm gonna throw in some other goodies. Everyone's eligible to enter who watches my channel. Standard giveaway rules apply. Don't say giveaway. If you're under 18, have a parent or guardian's permission to give me your mailing address. Don't say giveaway in the comments. And I want to know what your September plans are. Now, I know Kitten Stitcher is doing the Sampler September Sampler hashtag, celebrating all things reproduction samplers and historic samplers. So if you're going to be following along with that, let me know down below in the comments. If you are transitioning into autumn and decorating for autumn, like I started decorating, I got a little bouquet going over here. You know, if you're starting to decorate, let me know. If you are in the Southern Hemisphere, let me know what you're up to. I would love to know what you're doing in September. I always... I went and saw Green Day a long time ago in concert, and they had a song. I saw them on September 30th, and they sung their song Wake Me Up When September Ends, and it was the last day of September. And I always remember that as being like a really fun September memory for me. So if you have a fun September memory you would like to share, or if it's your birthday or something, let me know. That would be fun to read too. I used to go to a lot of concerts. I used to work for a public events company where you are like the background people for shows and everything. Anyway, I've been to my fair share of concerts, but that September concert sure stuck with me. I'm just so happy that you're all here today. So what are we going to talk about? Well, it's been a couple weeks. The last 2 weeks I've done my fair walkthrough, and I did my giveaway package prize winnings from Just Cross Stitch magazine. So those were 2 unconventional Flosstube episodes for me. So this week, what we're going to talk about are what have I been stitching for the last several weeks. I have Stitchy mail, Stitchy kindness, things that were gifted to me because, hi everyone, I am officially the cross stitch lady here in Carroll County, Maryland. I haven't met a cross stitch I didn't like, and I'm running out of wall space and all the things. So I'm going to show you some of the finds. I've got a stack of Save the Stitches here from the last several weeks that I either purchased or were gifted to me. All the things, so let's get started. Okay, a while back I went down to Durham, North Carolina to the scrap exchange where I found this partially completed piece. And I want to do a shout out to Ask Alice for Tea. She so wonderfully let me know that this is in fact a chatelaine, as I suspected. It is partially completed, and it is the Mini Mandala Mystery #1 chatelaine. And she was so gracious to send me a link to the pattern, and sure enough, that is it. The pattern is up for over 20 bucks. So I see what people say, they're trying to kit up chatelaines. Holy moly. I got some Stitchy kindness, and I gotta go grab it. Okay, I'll be right back. We're back with mail call, and I want to thank all of you so much for thinking of me. It is such a joy to actually get Stitchy mail. Thank you so much. I want to thank Sally. She sent me this really fun pattern with a beautiful note talking about attaching 2 different fabrics together in a single cross stitch, and that is something that I should consider, and maybe I should stitch this, she said. Beautiful. I love the idea. I love the idea of piecing the 2 pieces together. I know Blackbird Designs have their garden series, and it's all patchwork quilted, like stitched together. I love the idea of that. So thank you for letting me know that this is a viable possibility for my cross stitch, because, you know, there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. So what can we do to fix that? And that is in regards to my Kathy Haberman and Teresa Curry collaboration piece, the Valentine piece out of just one of the cross stitch magazines that I'm working on, that I made a mistake on, and that has been tucked away. I have not worked on it since, so I just need to do it and get it done. I also want to give a shout out to Jill, and thank you, Jill, so much, from Canada. She sent me another package, eh? She helped me play matchmaker. I got a beautiful note. And not only did she help me with identify, the note got stuck to the pattern. Not only did she help me identify one of my matchmakers from my Durham, North Carolina adventure, she sent me the pattern. How wonderful is that? So here is this piece, and I had thought that it was a Paula Vaughn piece. It looked very Paula Vaughn. I picked it up again at the Scrap Exchange in Durham, North Carolina for, yes, $1.50. It is stitched on an 18 count cream Aida. The dress, there's like little colonial knots up by the little flower accents and everything. You all have been so helpful. And Jill actually, not only did she find the pattern, she sent me the pattern. So thank you, matchmaker. And look at that. I was trying to see if there's pieces that are missing out of this, and the only thing I can see that is missing, if you look, is the floorboards. So it's got the shading here, and then the just straight down floorboard component of the pattern, just right here. I think I'm just missing the floorboards. And I know Lisa Kindred Stitcher, she just finished one of her Paula Vaughns, and it was a porch. And she also had the same, instead of the floorboards, she was working on the, like the shiplap boards on the side of the house. So I think that's a very Paula Vaughn-esque thing. But other than that, like the corner here, it has been finished. So it looks like, because it's got the knots still, it looks like I just need to insert those floorboards and then maybe give it a good little bath. It's even got the shoes in the background. And then figure out what to do with it. And I say give it a bath because, as you can see here, there's some staining. I don't see any staining on the original piece. So I might just leave it as is. But look at that. It's matchmaker. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jill. And thank all of you for playing cross stitch matchmaker with me. And again, if you ever are watching my videos and you're like, I know what that piece is, you can always let me know. This is one of my favorite segments, the matchmaker segment. Seriously, I will save this, of course, save the stitches, but the happy offshoot of that is matchmaker and finding and reuniting patterns, and just, it's so fun. I just love it. I just love it so much. So mail call, thank you. Oh, thank you. Do you want to see what I've been working on? Yes? Okay, I gotta move stuff out of the way. Okay, what should we look at first? I started new things. I love cross stitch, everyone. I love it. Okay, so in my rainbow bag, I have a Blackbird Design. I have, I think, the original printing, and then I think this just got re-released, the Fond Hearts. And I am stitching this on a piece of Color and Cotton. I don't remember. I'm so sorry. I don't remember. All of a sudden, I'm blanking. Anyway, I'm stitching it on a really pretty fabric. And I am using Victorian Motto sampler threads. And I had been stuck for a couple of weeks on whether or not, like, what color to use for my greens and then for the stitching over one. And so I hemmed and hawed and I thought about it for a while. And then Trish from Threads Entwined, when she sent me my order, she sent me a freebie, and this is Weeks Dye Works, and I had never used this color before. It's number 1272, and it's like a really pretty brown. And then I realized that's the color I want to do my over one stitching. So I pulled that, and then I decided to use a variegated green for this. And let me find my note. I wrote it down. It is 4019 and that's the 12 count sulky blend, the one of the blendables to do this. So I just need to finish my over one stitching here, and then a couple of the leaves, and then there's some Smyrnas up here. And I really like the bright color. I love how bright and beautiful it is. I just love it so much. So I am starting on that, and the over one it's been fine. I just need to do it when I can focus. And I am using a DMC 28 count petite needle to stitch my over one. I was using my Pat's Favorite needle. I got a size 28 needle to use that, and it's just a hair longer because it's not a petite needle. Also, one thing that I realized, there is a difference between the eye of the needle for Pat's and DMC. I cannot stitch comfortably. I cannot stitch with my sulky 12 weight cotton, which is like one strand is equivalent to 2 strands of floss. I cannot, it doesn't thread and help. It doesn't work as well on the Pat's needle as it does on a DMC needle because the shape of the eye of the needle is different. However, over one stitching with one strand of floss, not using sulky, Pat's Favorite needle is amazing, right? I mean, her size 24 needles were the first needle that I ever used, and oh my, yes, that I love those. I think Janine at Acorns and Threads, she joked that Pretty Southern, she stitches with logs because the size 24 needles are so much larger than the size 28s, which they are. But you have to be comfortable with what you're stitching with. And as long as it's bringing you joy, you're having a good time, and it's comfortable, then, you know, use whatever you want. That's just my observation on size 28s. I'm kind of obsessed with the petite needles right now because I do stitch in hand. So I went yesterday and bought 2 more packs of the DMC 28 petites. I have not tried other companies' petites, and it's not a lack of desire, it's just I haven't done it yet. Again, I am new to cross stitching. This is I'm going into my 3rd year cross stitching, and cross stitching has truly changed my life, and I learn something new every day. Thank you to all my stitchy friends for teaching me and showing me and all the things. Okay, so that's my first project I'm working on, my Valentine's project. My second project is in my Tifa bag, first ever project bag I ever got, and it is my Here Lie My Needles. I'm stitching this with sulky, all the sulky, and I am officially stuck at the bouquet, and I have not moved forward. I have debated about pulling out these color and doing something different so you can see the flowers a little bit better, the greens, and then starting to move forward with it. I'm having a really hard time reading the symbols on the chart, and I need to expand my PDF and print my working copy a little bit better to stitch this better. There are some amazing PDF readers where you can read your chart and mark it off on your smartphone, on your tablet as you go. I am a tactile learner, and I need a physical, like, paper in hand. And I know that's not the best as I sit here and spout off sustainability, but for my own cognitive needs, the paper is, I can't do tablets when it comes to marking off and like reading books and stuff. I need the physical book. I hope that makes sense. And to all of you who use your iPads and tablets and everything, that is so awesome. I want to be like you. Okay. So here lies my needles. Again, I'm stuck there at the bouquet. I need to move forward on that, and I will stop griping about it. Where am I now? I am at Stars Hollow Stitchery. I have not moved forward. Erica, I'm sorry, it's in a zip. I have 3 project bags. Well, speaking of Erica, speaking of Star Hollow Stitchery, she made me my bag here using my own fabric, which I love. And this is my Boo Bees fabric. I designed, created, and had this manufactured. I sent her my fabric and she turned it into this custom bag. And what is in my bag, you might ask? Let me show you. I got the Songbirds Garden Series Autumn Dream. This is number 11. Love it. Love autumn. I had been wanting to start this for a while, and I decided to use the DMC color conversion. So I got all my DMCs, and these are in like a floss away, but it's the store brand from Joann Fabrics. So here are the colors. And then I made a color copy, a color working copy of my pattern. So as I am stitching, I mark off on my working copy. The fabric that I got is from the Stitching Post in Baltimore, Maryland. When I went last time, my impulse trip, my accidental, oh my gosh, we're going near the Stitching Post, we must stop in Catonsville trip. And this is a 32 count toasted almond linen. I decided to use a different linen than the called for linen, but those are the called for DMC colors, and I really like it. I just started this project last night, and I did decide to start it in the center, in the top center here. I typically like to start my projects in the top and then move down. But I ended up starting in the center this time, and that's okay. Start where you feel comfortable. I love it, and this is going to be it's a 159 by 159, and so it'll finish up. This fabric is really lovely, and I want to say it's a 32 count and not a 30. Yeah, it's a 32 count. But I've been stitching so much on 36 that it almost seemed like a 28 to me. So, you know, adventures in stitching. And I really like this. This is the first pattern that I've gotten from Cottage Excuse me. This is my first pattern that I've gotten from Cottage Garden Samplings, and I like it. They format their charts differently than a lot of the other charts that I have come across, in that it is, yes, it's in a 6x9 resealable, but the paper, it is a colored chart, and this unfolds 4 to the 4th to large, and then the pattern is not all on one page, but the squares are large enough to read it. But I will say that if you're making your working copy of these charts, just realize that you will have to make multiple pages and get them all together. Also, this pattern does not have the numbers up at the top for counting to see where you're at. So just, you're gonna print out all your pages and then you're like gonna be hodgepodging them together, which is what I did. And I'm not showing you my pattern, I'm just showing you that I made the working copy, and I like to use cardstock when I make my working copy so that my charts stand at attention, and that as I'm stitching, I can mark off as I go. So that's just something else to think about. This is, I want to say 110 weight cardstock. You can pick up cardstock pretty much at any office supply store or your big box store by the printer and copy paper. So it will typically say cardstock, and like that, again, 110 weight. Whatever you're comfortable with using, I'm just letting you know that that's what I have been leaning towards using, is a cardstock, and I enjoy it. Regular paper is just fine too. My next project is my fairy garden in my highly technical Clinique makeup bag. And I'm almost done with this. Oh my gosh, I'm so close, everyone. So, what I was saying earlier about the patchwork is see how the back, all of these pieces, when they're sewn together, they're the different color linen. So it's really neat to see the different techniques in finishing and different things that I had never thought about or explored before. I am stitching this on one of those pretty fabrics. I don't remember. I do know it's a 36 count. Oh, this is Color and Cotton. This is from their Patriotic box that I got this season. I'm using all the called for threads on this 36 count, and I think it's absolutely lovely. I cannot wait to finish it. So I've got the big flower motifs on both sides here to finish, and then I need to fill in the house, and then I will be all done. And then I am going to move on. I've decided on the same piece of fabric, I would like to stitch 3 more of these. Apparently I'm on a Blackbird kick, which beautiful, and why not, right? And again, I bought all the called for colors from Threads and Twined, and they're really pretty, very pretty colors. And I have all the colors, so why don't I stitch more things, right? My next project that I'm working on is, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this one, everyone. I'm so excited. In my Stars Hollow Stitchery bag, because I love a good Halloween bag, is Yellow Submarine. And I got this really cool gadget. It was gifted to me. It's a metal, it's an old school, like from 1990s. And it's got the magnets, and you can put your chart and then the magnet, and then it can help you follow your place. I was gifted this, and I said, yes, please, so that I can mark my chart as I go. I made a working copy, not on cardstock, but just on regular paper. And then I did a full conversion to my Sulky 12 weight blendables, except for I'm a sucker for this pomegranate, and you know, I couldn't substitute that pomegranate. I love it so much. But everything else is the called for, or it's Sulky with as close to a proximity to, as close of a color conversion as I could do from the DMC that they have listed, and then I converted it to Sulky. And so those are my thread colors here. The one thing that I did not have, and I hemmed and hawed about going over the top border with, and I decided to finally, I pulled this color, and looking at it in standalone, I thought, oh, it's too bright, it's too much, it's not gonna go with this pattern. And by George does it, it goes with this pattern. This is 4051 by Sulky. Love it. It's at the border of this piece. It seriously to me looks like a kelp forest, which, hello, I love the kelp forest. I grew up in California by the kelp forest. My favorite. Someone said, what's your favorite ocean? And I said, Pacific Ocean. And the Pacific Ocean, I love the kelp forest. So here we go. That's how far I got on my Yellow Submarine. This is on a piece of 18 count Charles Craft Ada, or one of the Adas that I got from the thrift store. And it was this ugly, like yellow, it looked like a smoker's yellow. That's the only, anyway, I dyed it using RIT dye, and I did a little tutorial video a couple weeks ago on how I dyed the fabric, and I love it so much. I'm so happy that I dyed it. Again, all of this is stitched one strand of Sulky over one because it's Ada. And this is how far I got. That's the blendable. That's completing one cross at a time to get the variegated look. I did, for a lot of the yellow and orange here, because it's a solid color, I did stitch all the way across and then come all the way back rather than completing each X. For my variegation in the red, that's the pomegranate. And yes, I did stitch one X at a time, and there is a slight variegation to it. I love this piece. I literally cannot put it down. And then I realized that I have a thing for stitching huge stretches of yellow and orange. I don't know. We'll see what 2020 brings and if my color palette changes. I would love to kit up and start working on Strawberry Fields Forever. So we'll see about that. And I participated for a little bit on the Mindy's Needle Art, the live sale that Michelle Bindi Stitchy hosted yesterday on streaming on her Flosstube channel, and I picked up a couple more Blackbird Design goodies. Oh my, oh my, oh my. I love all the things. Those are my WIPS that I have been working on this week. I have been trucking along, carrying around my Comfort Lighthouse. This Ziploc bag is starting to look very disheveled, is all I can say. So I might need to get a new Ziploc bag shortly here, but I love it. I have those couple other projects, and then I have some stitching things that I have been working on that I cannot wait to show you all and debut, but that will be another day. Now I want to talk about some of my Save the Stitches. I'm putting away my stuff. Oh, and I've been carrying around. Someone asked me about my Stitchy spot, and I participated in the Common Thread Stitcher hashtag on Instagram. I would say about 10 of the 31 days I participated. And one of the things is my stitching spot. Well, with 2 small children and schedules and everything, I don't have a designated spot. But what I do is I carry around my tote and my little caboodle, and wherever I can sit down and stitch, that's what I've been doing. So my tote right now is my Mid-Atlantic Pug Rescue tote that I got, and they are bubbly pugs. Yes, they are. Love it. So I have all of my current projects that I'm working on in my tote, and that's what it looks like. The ones that I have on hold are in a really pretty woven basket that I leave, so I'm not carrying around things that I'm not actively wanting to work on. So there you go. Let's talk about Save the Stitches. Okay. I love this one. I got these 2 pieces this weekend. I went to drop off some stuff, and I got this lime because I love lime. I love lime and lemons. So I'm gonna this is gonna be with my summer stitching stuff. I love it. Then I picked this up because I will say, full disclosure, most Save the Stitches that I find are Aida fabric. I very, very rarely find something that's on linen. And I don't know why that is, if there's just more Aida stitchers in the area, or if they're valued differently. I'm not really sure. But I saw this piece and I grabbed it, and it's on linen. I am not sure of the designer or the maker. It is got the letters BUFF and then 92 on it. It's stitched, it looks like a 28 count, like a raw linen, stitched with 2 strands over 2. And it's got the hearts, so it makes me think of, you guessed it, Valentine's Day, my favorite. Now this, I have not cleaned the glass. It looks really icky, and the matting, I don't think, it's pretty dirty, the inside. So I might have to pull it out just because of moisture damage and just check and make sure everything's okay. It is nicely framed. I get these 2 pieces. I hope other people would have purchased them if I had not, but I grabbed them anyway because I have a problem. The next piece that I got is sort of cross stitch. It is, I got it out of a 75% off bin. The bin is before it goes to the dumpster bin. And it's an old school particle board. It's a copy of a cross stitch of Home Rules on this particle board. And it's copyrighted AAK Incorporated USA. And it's the Home Rules. I just love seeing cross stitch on other platforms, other mediums, like Blackbird Designs, their cross stitch fabric, you know, seeing it on fabric, seeing it on particle board, seeing it on mugs. I love Beth Twist and her mugs that she puts out and produces. I've made cross stitch shirts with the X's. I just love the idea of having cross stitch transcend the typical textile medium, and you see them on the old school 1980s greeting cards and wrapping paper. Oh, so I made two of my cross stitch designs into wrapping paper. So that's pretty cool. I just love all the things. I was gifted by my wonderful friend named Grace from West Virginia. Hi, Grace. She has been a huge champion of me in cross stitch. I actually taught her daughter last year how to cross stitch, my first and only student. And I just love it. So she's been keeping her eyes out for a cross stitch. So she found me this, and it's a little sampler. And I thought it might be fun to pull this out of the frame and make it into a project bag. So it says, no one is rich enough to be without friends. And she's my friend. She also gifted me, how fun is this? She goes, you know, Amanda Mae, I got you something, but in trying to buy it for you, I broke it, but I bought it for you anyway. And I'm thinking to myself, this lady knows me too well. She broke something and she still wants to give it to me. So I'm thinking, what could she have possibly found that she broke, but it still had to come to me? Oh, you ready for this? A cookie jar. Not just any cookie jar. A cross-stitched needlepoint inspired cookie jar. Yes, please. It's got a little chip in it, but that's okay because it's so quintessential Amanda Mae. It's a little odd. It's a little... It's bright and vibrant. It makes me smile, right? So there we go. I was gifted those. Thank you so much. I have more goodies from Grace. I don't know if we have time in this video or we might have to wait till next week. I got... Oh, I'm just dropping everything. Hold on. Oh, and by the way, the ongoing saga of my hair being a mess. It's been like 1 year since my kid accidentally shaved my head. But we're in transition phase right now with my hair. So I'm hoping next year's Flosstube, my hair will be 2020 Amanda Mae and her long, beautiful hair. So we'll see. Here we go. I got these pieces because apparently I love cardinals. Did not realize how much I loved cardinals until I just want all the cardinals. I have other Redbird stuff. Anyway, and then look at this one. So cute. What I like about these, the birds, they're Christmas, but they don't scream Christmas. So I really like that. I'm not sure if I will leave them in the frames and leave them as is, or take them and the two other birds that I got, the Christmas birds that I had shown in a couple other episodes, and put them all together and do like a bunting. Like Beth Twist, she did the beautiful bunting it was an exclusive for one of the online shops for her pattern, and she has it with the bunting with the bells, and I thought, wouldn't that be pretty to have bunted birds and have it all be reclaimed? I don't know, with all my free time. Okay, I got this. It reminded me of a horn book, It's like a cheese platter, but it says here it's black for decorative use. Do not put food on it. So I think I might paint this, kind of do my Barbara Anna finish from last time where I took a board and I painted it and then mounted a cross stitch on it, because hashtag buy all the trivets and apparently buy all the cheese boards. So I got that. I might just leave this design on it, but flip this over and paint and do something on this side with cross stitch. I got this needlepoint kitty cat. It made me think of Ellen of Maximum Cross Stitch Power Hour. And I've heavily encouraged Ellen to turn her collection of needlepoint into a chaise lounge. So I'm hoping she goes ahead and does that. And then I think once she has her needlework on a chaise lounge, she should have her album cover for one of her upcoming records be her and like the band on the chaise lounge. I'm just saying. I found a couple things and I thought they were really cool. Sorry, it's still summer, it's still warm. I'm still molting. I got this Grand Opera old school, the musical play of Aida, and I had read a really interesting article that Aida fabric, you know, Aida, here's 14 count Aida, this type of fabric was named after this famous opera. They renamed it that in order to piggyback on the publicity and success of this production. I think that's really interesting, and marketing is really interesting, and the idea of how things are marketed and revamped is really neat. So anyway, I just thought this was, while it's opera, it does have a cross stitch connection. Make those connections. The next thing I got was the Sisters 3, which when I first bought this, I was like, oh, matchmaker, this is it. And then I got home, I went, no, it's not it, but it's another one of the Paula Vaughn dresses. So that's cool. All the things. I have so many things. Oh my gosh. Okay. I was gifted some tremendous pieces. Tremendous. And I'm very grateful and humbled that my friends know how much I care about textiles, saving the stitches, and just saving these beautiful pieces of art. So I was gifted some beautiful things. First off, I was gifted this quilt. And I'm going to have to do a video showing you all of the embroidery on this quilt. I don't know the date of this quilt, or if it was one of those like Sears catalog mail away kits where you get the patterns in the mail. I'm not a quilt aficionado, so I am not sure of this or the true provenance of this quilt, but it's all hand worked and finished. There is the edging is a scalloped edge. It's got some wear and staining, but it's absolutely beautiful. And this is my first true quilt that I have ever been gifted. And what I mean by that is I have a couple quilts that are what they call cutter quilts. Quilts that are in major need of rehabilitation, and a lot of people just use them and end up cutting them up and using them for other projects. I have two quilts that I couldn't use if I wanted to. I couldn't even hang them if I wanted to because they're in such disrepair. So this is my first ever quilt, and it means a lot to me to be gifted a quilt. My grandmothers had both made me quilts, my baby quilts, and both of those got destroyed in the fire in Paradise. My mom's home was destroyed, and so were the two handmade quilts that I did have from my childhood. One was a crocheted rainbow quilt, and one was a hand-pieced, hand-worked rainbow quilt. And I think about how much I love rainbows today, and I was like, wow, I guess they knew as a baby how much I loved all the bright colors and the rainbows. So it was really nice to be gifted a quilt. So thank you. And then in honor of Lindy Stitches, Stephanie Webb, and yes, I tagged her on Instagram. I have to, I'm sitting on it. Okay. Okay. Oh, look at this. I have my own quilt, just like Lindy. Just like Lindy. I'm sorry. Just like Stephanie. She has her beautiful Stars Bright pattern, and she modeled the border of that pattern using the squares from her quilt that she had got from a thrift store. So her color palette, go see her channel, Stephanie Webb. I want to meet her. Hi, Stephanie. Anyway, so when I saw her video a couple months ago, I went, I want one of those. And I set it out to the universe that I want one of those quilts. And look, I got one. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. Really and truly. I have so much more to show you, but I'm going to go ahead and call it a wrap. Just know that I appreciate you. Your stitching matters. You matter. I want to hear about September plans, and you can enter my giveaway or not. If you just want to say, hey, hi, Amanda Mae, that's cool too. I will be back next week with a Maryland State Fair recap. I'm going to show you the things and the ribbons, and I love cross stitch. Until next week, take care and happy stitching.